This is our livelihood. This is what we do. We're going to be in this for a long time. And so you really want to be with someone who's going to be with you.
MedFlow, developing the future of eye care through client-inspired products. Come visit MedFlow booth 1635 to learn how you can become a lifelong partner.
Hi, I'm Rachel Kopczyk here at AAO 2016 in the windy city of Chicago. Attendees are geared up and ready to continue to innovate in the field of ophthalmology at the annual meeting.
Consultant, I'm more or less interested in glaucoma, but it's always useful to look at other subspecialties as well, to be updated with what's going on all over the world and how things are progressing.
I came all the way from Ireland because this is the biggest eye meeting in the world. This is my 10th AAO meeting, and I like to come here to make sure what I'm doing in a coastal region on the southwest coast of Ireland is not different to what's been doing around the world. So it's good for my practice to check in with the new innovations, to look at procedures and practice in the States, and to take that back home.
I'm Rachel Kopczyk here at AAO 2016, and I'm joined now by Dr. Jonathan Rubenstein. He is the Academy Secretary for the annual meeting. This year's theme is Innovate. So what is new and innovative here this year?
Well, ophthalmology is a great field because there's always innovation in ophthalmology. We're very tied to technology, and so there's always all sorts of innovation happening. There's innovations in really every area, whether it's cornea, retina, glaucoma, cataract surgery. Really just about every field is some sort of innovation going on. It's almost too numerous to mention.
And as far as the meeting goes, what are some of the hot topics that we're going to see? I know there's a session on Zika. What else can ophthalmologists expect to find?
Yeah, there is a session on Zika, and Zika is very, very important. It's certainly had a lot of press, and we know that there's some ophthalmic manifestations causing inflammation in the eye, and certainly the ability sometimes the ophthalmologist to diagnose the condition through eye inflammation is very important as well. Other meetings that are going on are special named lectures are going on. There's a lecture that's called the Marmor Lecture of the Arts, which talks about the alchemy of color in 19th century art. It's by a curator at the Art Institute. Should be very exciting. There's a named lecture about manifestations of war-based ocular injuries that should be very interesting. The lecture that's in the opening session, which is the Jackson Memorial Lecture, is being given by Doug Koch this year, which is a very exciting lecture all about intraocular lens implant calculations, and a lot of his work he's done with that as well. There's also a session in the opening session actually about MACRA, which is the new payment model that the government has now put forth to pay for Medicare and reimbursement issues. Very, very kind of up-to-date session that's necessary because of all these changes are really ongoing and very, very current. So it's important for ophthalmologists to be well-versed in that and learn from that, and hopefully the open session will provide some of that time to do that.
Yeah. Also in the opening session, you're known for the show that you put on. We've seen you as Elvis with your son as well last year in Vegas, and a little bit of Bali dancing and an Irish jig we saw you do here in Chicago before. So give us a little teaser of what we can expect this year.
Well, you know, Rachel, I can't tell you really what I'm going to do, but it will be something with Chicago-based theme. It'll be something fun. Hopefully people will show up at about between 8 and 8:25 to kind of hear what's going on. 8:25 we'll do my little thing. This is my last Academy meeting as annual secretary, so hopefully it'll be kind of a fun little way to go out.
All right, thank you so much. We look forward to the opening session. I'm thinking maybe blues. That's my prediction. We'll just have to wait and see.
Interesting
Is it a
thought.
good guess?
It's you're kind of warm. We'll see.
Right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Speakers from around the world gave their unique perspectives during Refractive Subspecialty Day presentations. It covered not only the basics of refractive surgery, but also specialized topics like SMILE, PRK, and LASIK.
So Dr. Sunil Shah gave a wonderful talk on the smile technique in the UK and gave some videos that Renato Ambrosio had taken down in Brazil. And he showed us not only the technique, but also possible complications that can occur and how to deal with those complications. So in the smile technique, you can see complications that you can see in traditional LASIK. So you can see DLK, as well as infection and even haze. So those are complications that people should be aware of and also should be following very closely, even though it is a intracorneal procedure rather than a flap.
As a medical society, even as ophthalmologists, we have to teach our peers how refractive surgery evolved. We got better treatments, we have better outcomes, and there's no other procedure that we do in medicine that is as good as refractive surgery. So patient education is critical. It's very important to educate our patients and our peers so that we can all benefit from the marvelous refractive surgery that we have today.
Some late breaking news out of the refractive surgery subspecialty day centers around LASIK eye surgery. About 60% of patients who undergo LASIK experience dry eye. It was often thought that older women were more susceptible. However, the data, according to this presentation, says that's not the case.
Looking at the data, it seems that, all patients, regardless of age or gender, have a small but subtle increase in dry eye symptoms after LASIK. We do know that females have more dry eye symptoms prior to LASIK, but their increase in symptoms after LASIK is not any greater than males. So that is, both men and women experience an increase after LASIK, but the increase is the same. Women are just starting from a slightly higher baseline.
The data also found that there's no connection between your age and dry eye after LASIK. Artificial tears are the recommended solution to combat dry eye discomfort after surgery. The Retina Subspecialty program focuses on innovative techniques with surgery and treatment through debates, videos, and presentations. Some new promising treatments for PVR were introduced, as well as alternate ways to drain choroidal hemorrhage. The Retina Subspecialty program is where you are brought up to speed on the latest treatments and what's coming down the pipeline.
We have a new ultrasonic vitrectomy cutter that can really cut the vitreous and cause minimal traction. I think that's going to be key. And then you also saw today that perhaps we can actually do in-office surgery. So that's going to be a game changer.
There's a lot of companies that are very innovative, that are sort of pushing the envelope in the performance of vitrectomy instrumentation, the machines we use, and all aimed at being more efficient or safer. And so we're seeing each and every year a whole host of new technology being introduced.
The foundation of the American Academy of Ophthalmology supports several different programs, including Eye Care America and the IRIS Registry. Here to talk more about those programs and the foundation is Dr. David Park, who is the Academy CEO. So tell us a little bit about what the foundation provides.
The foundation is really one of the Academy's most important assets, and it's really one of every member's most important assets, even though they may not recognize it, because the Academy Foundation is the underpinning for so many of the programs that we take for granted. For example, the IRIS Clinical Data Registry. The IRIS Clinical Data Registry, in 2.5 years, is the world's largest clinical registry of any type, in any specialty. And it would not have been possible without the foundation. It took millions of dollars to develop, but it's saving members hundreds of millions of dollars every year. And it's also providing members with tools to improve their practice, and it's generating new scientific knowledge. We would not have been able to do this. We used no government money, we used no external money, so we were able to do it quickly, efficiently, and build it for the members. That's a unique thing. The Academy Foundation also supports the One Network, which is the world's largest online educational resource for ophthalmologists. 80,000 ophthalmologists worldwide use it every month. I mean, it's 17,000 pages of content, 2,000 videos and podcasts. It's an incredible resource, and it would not have been possible without the foundation. So what I tell every member is, you may think, well, the foundation is something other people are involved in. Every single member is getting huge benefit from it. and it needs the members' support. It's, in a sense, our internal venture capital fund to allow us to develop new and innovative things.
And how can members get involved with the foundation if they want to?
The members can get involved in many ways. First of all, we need their money. The foundation is a funding vehicle. And all they have to do is either call the Academy, they can go online to AAO.org and donate that way. We also need them to become volunteers for Eye Care America. And we love it when they get involved in some of the other programs that the foundation supports, like the Museum of Vision or the Ophthalmic Heritage Center. This is the only place in the United States where the heritage of our profession, the artifacts, the treasures, are indexed and available online for everybody to see.
And what else is the value for members to be a part of the foundation? What else will they get out of it?
I think there's a lot of tangible things. I talked about the tens of thousands of dollars that every single American ophthalmologist who uses the IRIS registry gets back. But what you really get back is knowing that you're part of the profession's future, that you're really helping to make it more vibrant for the next generation. It's sort of paying it forward, if you will. And that's something that dues don't do, but the foundation itself has the capacity to do.
And real quickly, here at the meeting, there are people here on site to answer questions about the foundation as well. Where can they go to do that?
Go to the Academy Resource Center, which is on the exhibit floor. Big, you can't miss it. And within that, there's a section for the foundation, there's a section for Eye Care America, there's a section for the Museum of Vision. You can't miss it.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Park.
Thank you.
Ophthalmology professionals are learning how to innovate here at AAO 2016 by obtaining new knowledge and strengthening their skills during Subspecialty Day.
Subspecialty Day has a great advantage to give you a broad spectrum approach to what's going on in any area. And there's so much going on, one cannot grasp it all. So you have to pick and choose about what you want to get updated on, and also which areas may help you advance your own care for your patients.
Particularly some of the new data releases. I find that most interesting, and particularly what I do with my current role, knowing what other companies are saying and sharing, and what results they have attained. It's very helpful.
Related to diabetic macular edema first, then AMD. So I can elaborate more about diabetic macular edema because the diabetes prevalence in Saudi Arabia is one of the highest in the world. It's around 50% of the population. Yes, exactly. And the projection rate is around 100% in the next 15 years, according to the WHO. So diabetic macular edema is one of the most important diseases that you need to tackle with new treatments in the market.
I come to the academy every single year, and when I come, I take the 2-day subspecialty courses, and I stay till the end. I learn an awful lot, and it's, I'm in solo practice, so I cannot afford not to know.
I'm Rachel Kopczyk here at AAO 2016, and I'm joined now by the president this year, Dr. Bill Rich. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some highlights from your presidency this year?
It's been a busy time. Actually, American medicine is changing more now from federal legislation, something called MACRA. I won't get into the meaning of the acronym. But basically, it fundamentally changes and affects the practice of medicine, even more so than Medicare, which was passed in 1965. It's complex, and it's got good pieces and bad pieces. But the big thing is it's going to change, and it's very complex, and so the physicians are going to have to really learn to understand that. The proposed rule was 958 pages, and to try to take something that complex and message it to our members is critical. But we've been advocating for simplicity, and the rule just came out today, the final rule, and things are not going to be as onerous as we thought. But things are going to change.
What advice do you have for people when they have to now start implementing the MACRA?
Actually, it's pretty simple. Well, it's pretty complex, but the approach is pretty simple. And that is to get involved with the IRIS registry. The IRIS registry was launched in April of 2014.
And in 2.5 years, it's the world's largest clinical registry and the world's largest clinical database. And it was a quality improvement tool, but it also enables our members to meet and jump through the hoops of this complex rulemaking. We have about 11,800 who are integrated with the EHR, 14,000 out of maybe 16,000 participate in IRIS, which is astounding. The only ones that aren't are in academic medicine because the EHR, called EPIC, will not allow them to participate. So it has broad-based approach, it improves quality, and it has tremendous value to the individual practices, whether you're a solo practitioner or a really large group. It enables you to actually meet these regulatory requirements that are being thrust upon us. And I feel confident that we'll be able to meet the membership needs. We've done it so far. We've anticipated a lot of changes in this rule, and the messaging will be important, but I think our docs are going to do okay.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Dr. Rich. We appreciate it, and congratulations on your presidency.
Thank you, Rachel.
Experience an EHR like never before with Emma, the system built by ophthalmologists. Document quickly and draw with complete freedom. Plus, unify your records in the cloud with integrated image management. Visit booth 4017 to see for yourself.